What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Brandon, and alongside me always is Andrew. Today, it's two of the coolest movies of all time going head to head. It's Aliens versus Predator. What is up, guys? So we are excited about today's episode, and I know you all are too. I'll just go ahead and assume it right now. Aliens, the second in the franchise, one of the coolest movies ever as far as alien movies go. And Predator, the first Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator, also one of the coolest movies of all time and one of Arnold's top tier movies.
And just one of those that we call the epitome of Macho Movie Madness.
Right, absolutely. There. Just manly man, baby.
Just a man, baby.
Just a man. Yeah, so we're pretty excited about this.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked aliens since probably an Aliens episode years ago, right?
5 or 6 podcasts in, yeah.
Yeah, and we talked Predator. Not really. It's been a while since we talked Predator.
Yeah, and I thought these would be fun too because, like, this is kind of like our summer blockbuster versus right here. We've done some things, you know, The Punisher and Top Gun and that kind of deal. But yeah, this is another level.
Yeah,
to me anyway.
Yeah, it is. You're pitting two big movies together for once. It's not one versus a rip-off, or I mean, this is it. This is awesome. So with these two movies, I'll just run down the quick rigmarole real quick and we'll get started. Aliens, 1986, been 7 years after the first Alien movie, right? 79, right?
Yeah.
So you got 1986, directed by James Cameron, and what you said was his second movie, official
movie. If you don't count Piranha 2, The Spawn.
Yeah. Well, we will because we're macho.
It's his third movie.
We've talked about that on Warehouse B. So
yes.
So we have to count it. James Cameron directed this. This is right after Terminator, a couple years after Terminator. He's still moving up the ranks. Predator was John McTiernan, and this is 87. This would be the year before Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
He did Die Hard the next year, and he's done all kinds of shit, man. Thomas Crown Affair, Last Action Hero. We love that movie. We talked about on the channel.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Hunt for Red October. This dude is right up there with James Cameron. I mean, these are heavy hitters right here.
If he could have stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I did mention 87. Yeah, Predator came out in 87.
They're like 11 months apart.
11 months apart, yeah. The budget for Aliens comes in about 18.5 mil on budget. Box office totals range from 131 to 183. Now, this is just from Wikipedia. I don't know official totals. I don't know if this is worldwide, domestic versus overseas. I don't know what that is. That's a very broad number. But even still, 18 million and you make even 131, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. On the other end with Predator, we've got a budget. They're saying 15 to 18 million, some around their estimated budget, and it brings in a total of 98.3 million at the box office. Not as good, but still very strong.
Right.
I think for the kind of movie it is, for the year, and for the amount of the budget was. So very impressive. This is about as just kick-ass as it can be. These two movies, you know, along with maybe a few others, a handful of others, basically are what shaped every one of us on this channel.
Yeah.
This is the epitome of Macho Movie Madness. This is why we're doing what we're doing. These kind of movies right here. These are our bread and butter. And even this is more Andrew's two movies, even more so than mine, but very much our kind of movies. We love these very much. So enough of that bullshit. Let's get into the categories. Today it's just me and you, Andrew. We have nobody else's picks. No one got their picks in. You snooze, you lose. No Kenny, no Chris, no anybody else. So it's just going to be me and you trying to figure this out. And I think we'll be able to do it. We got a tiebreaker category just in case. But we're going to go story, setting, action, acting, and best villains, best aliens. Basically, I've got a best villains category. We're going to use that. And if we had a tiebreaker, I think we're going to go best characters.
Yeah, because there's a great ensemble cast in both of these movies.
Yes, absolutely. So let's start it off with story. We'll see how smooth this goes with both of us here. Starting off with story, do you want to take the first pick? Yeah. I haven't really worked this out. Just like the last few, I'm going to do this on the fly.
I'm following my heart on this too. I really don't know. For story, I'm going to go aliens. I think the story's a little bit tighter with aliens. You got the whole mother thing with Ripley. Mm-hmm. This story was essentially a story that James Cameron wrote called Mother, and that's why like the maternal thing is between her and Newt. Like it's so prominent in this story. Couple that with basically, the her being traumatized from the first movie, going out with these colonial Marines who are badass. They get their butts kicked, and her having to come in and take over, basically take command. I think it's quite a bit stronger. I do like Predator a lot as far as the story. You got this, this commando group going in, and they think it's a rescue in the beginning. They're looking for Hopper and his men.
Yeah.
Jim Hopper, which is funny with Stranger Things, how they borrowed from that. But and then there's like the whole little plot twist in the middle where Dylan was basically using them as pawns, expendable assets to get the job done, I believe is what he says. I like that, but I don't think it's quite as I don't know. It doesn't strike my fancy quite as much as Aliens.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree with you. I think I'm
do it.
I think you're right though. I do think you're right. I think there's just something a little bit deeper and a little tighter in Aliens. With Predator, it's just not, it's just a lot of moments. There's a lot of moments in Aliens, but there's a lot of moments in Predator. It's just very different. It's a different feel. It's definitely a bro movie.
Yeah.
Aliens isn't necessarily a bro movie.
Yeah.
Aliens is just an all-around very, very good sci-fi action movie.
Yeah. I like, you've basically got kind of a surrogate family at the end of this thing with Hicks and Ripley and Newt. And
right.
So there's a little bit of a family bond there.
Yeah, there is. And I love the connection of all of the characters in that movie.
Yeah.
It's just different than just a bunch of muscled up WWF stars, basically, is what it seems like in Predator, which I love.
Yeah.
But it's like that's more macho than Aliens.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more Macho Movie Madness than Aliens. But I think you're right. When you break it down, I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to go Aliens. So we'll just go ahead and mark that off as a point to Aliens for story. Let's get into setting. I still need to make me another matching setting logo because I deleted it by accident. It works. Yeah, it works.
Well, dude, it works mostly.
Yeah, mostly. Setting. I'm going to pick Predator. I'm not a big space guy.
Yeah. I had a feeling you're going to lean Predator on this one.
Yeah, and I'm not even a big jungle guy, to be honest with you. But
seen some badass bushes before, but nothing like it.
Yeah, that's right. I just think this lends itself really well to what they're doing with Predator, and I think it's a lot scarier with a giant assassin creature that has thermovision and a camo tech.
Yeah.
So just, as scary as space is, as scary as an alien loose on, or aliens loose on a ship, I think that being hunted by something in the jungle just works way better.
Yeah. In a way, I'm gonna go Predator as well. But in a way, I kind of feel like Aliens has that a little bit too. That scene where they're in the atmosphere processor, and it's got that whole post-Vietnam thing where they're coming out of the blankety blank walls.
Yeah,
you can't see them because they blend right in with the landscape. It's got that just kind of
yes. Yeah, very eerie.
Yeah,
That's true. That is true.
and I do like, I do like. Of course, I'm a sci-fi guy. I like space better than you do, but I do like, they continued with H.R. Giger's designs, but a lot of it's on, the base, the atmosphere processing, and most of it's inside. They do a little bit of outside stuff, but I think you're right with Predator. It just lends itself to what he does. It's canopy jungle. I like, a lot of the places they go in there with the waterfall. I
Yes.
love that
Yeah.
scene. That assault on the enemy camp. We'll talk about that here in a couple of categories, but just all the little set pieces for Predator. I thought that was great, and especially there at the end, that whole last act, which is basically like a silent movie almost.
Yeah.
A lot of those, like the big trees that like Arnold's on and the Predator's on, those were made for the movie. Those weren't actually real. I love the attention to detail there.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, you don't know.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm gonna slight nod to Predator in this one for me.
Let's move on to the acting, and we're not really talking about characters as a whole, but we're talking about acting as a whole here.
Yeah,
we talk about the characters.
We might need characters later.
But what do you think on acting?
Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Academy Award for this, in a genre that does not get nominated for Academy Awards.
I was gonna say, does that ever happen?
No.
I mean,
I don't know if it's happened since, but it hadn't happened up to that point.
That's wild.
Yeah, she's amazing in this movie. The rest of I don't think there's any bad acting in this movie. I've heard some people say they didn't care for Newt, but I thought she played traumatized pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. But what do you? But compared to everybody else in the movie, like that's your only complaint.
Yeah.
I mean, on the other side, you've got Carl Weathers, which is amazing.
Yes.
What's the big dude? The big bald guy. What's his name?
Talking about Mac.
Mac. What's Bill Duke.
Bill Duke.
Bill Duke.
Bill Duke.
Yeah, Bill Duke. I mean Jesse Ventura. They all have great lines.
Yeah. Even Sonny Landham in that laugh.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like kind of a point to Predator there. You basically Kevin Peter Hall in that suit, and the way, just how menacing he is when he's taking off his breathing tubes and stuff there right before he's getting ready to fight Dutch. Just acting through the prosthetics, how good that was.
Very good. Very good. But as a whole, as good as macho as it was, I think I would probably lean Aliens.
Yeah.
The entire crew. Let me see what. I'm trying to think of all their names. I know Paul Reiser's one. Michael Biehn.
Oh yeah. Paul Reiser is such a scumbag, and he is amazing at it.
Oh yes. Yes. Bill Paxton, Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah, Jeanette Goldstein's in a lot of. Yeah, she was in Titanic and Terminator.
She's in everything. She's in everything that James Cameron does in some way or shape or form. It seems like, and she's amazing, and she's amazing in everything. Really, she is. She's good in everything she does. William Hope, Lance Henriksen.
And Lance Henriksen does a great job. In the first movie, you had Ash who malfunctioned on that team. And so Ripley, of course, does not trust him. And Lance Henriksen has that face that you just don't trust.
No, in anything, even when even in Terminator 1.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about this guy.
He was the most trustworthy in the entire movie.
He was. He really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Aliens 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like Predator a lot, but I don't think, for all the macho posing and stuff and the one-liners, which were great, I don't think it's quite up to par with Aliens on an acting.
It might be tighter. We'll see how it goes if we get to characters, but just because of my preference. But acting-wise, I think you have to go Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, so the meat and potatoes of the thing.
Why we're here.
Let's find out what's got the best action.
We're gonna have to talk this out.
Well, I'm gonna let you kick it off because these are your babies, so you lead the way.
Predator is just balls to the wall action from the beginning, and I think I might have to lean that way. Of course, both movies have. I was gonna say with the minigun and stuff. Both movies have miniguns. You got a pair of minigunners in Aliens.
Yeah.
They don't level an entire forest.
No. But
the more I think about it, the more Aliens I feel is more in the story and the characters Predator
Yeah.
is just straight up action.
Yeah.
From the get go. And
that's what I'm thinking.
I think I'm going to have to go Predator in this one.
No, I know that's kind of where I'm leaning. It just, when you don't think about that without thinking about all the gunfire, and craziness that ensues with Predator, and not to mention just the sheer action, that showdown at the end between Arnold and the Predator.
Yeah, just all the stuff the Predator can do, all of his weaponry, how awesome that is. Blowing holes for Jesse Ventura.
With Aliens being it's just, the Aliens definitely a different feel from that first Alien movie. I mean, but it still kind of has that. It's just different. It just feels different.
Yeah.
But they really focused on, and probably because it's an Arnold movie, but you really commandoed the shit out of it.
Yeah. I was talking earlier about it, the assault on the guerrilla camp, when they're all converging there, and Arnold picks up that truck and puts the explosives in it and rolls it down into that camp, and it's all knock knock and all the one-liners. Just love it.
Yeah. I love, like, one of my favorite scenes in that movie. I laugh every time. I'm probably not supposed to, but that damn primal rage yell
with the torch.
Yeah. I cannot help but laugh every time. I think they've made some pretty good memes out of that here. Some reels out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Predator. Go Predator.
In Aliens, I mean, they do blow up, pretty much an entire planet. Like that atmosphere processor they blow up that the Queen's under, thinking they got her. They blow, and I love that scene. That scene wherever they get attacked, and Ripley takes control of that armored vehicle, and they're going. I thought that was really good. And I love the scene where the lights are red, and they're barricaded in, and Burke leaves, and man, that's a good scene. But I don't think quantity wise it quite matches up with Predator.
Right, and I think that's what you kind of have to base it off of. Speaking, you mentioned that, man. If you were going cinematography and lighting, overall visual, Aliens is good. It still looks really good.
Yeah.
To this day, I think Predator just doesn't hold up in that regard the same way. It's great. It's a great movie, but it's a fun movie. But visually, and that's one thing though that James Cameron has always been big on. Always.
Yeah.
And they can, and him and his team, whoever does it, they can flat out restore a movie, man, I tell you.
Yeah. And you look at the rest of McTiernan's movies, and they look okay. Die Hard, Last Action Hero, but they don't stand out, from a lighting standpoint like Cameron's.
No. Right. Yeah, I think the shot for shot, like visuals, the cinematography in that sense, or just the direction, I think is, what am I trying to say? That looks really good. Die Hard shot very well.
Yeah.
Visualistically, it's visually shot, like the angles and stuff. They're very, very well done. When I think of cinematography, I also think of atmosphere and lighting, kind of what that does. You look at movies like Halloween, for instance, and Dean Cundey and what he does for his movies. That's what you kind of picture. And it's just different. So we're going Predator on action. That ties us up. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about the characters.
Yeah, we'll talk about it anyway, but
I don't think so anyway. We'll see what we pick here. Best villains or best aliens in this case.
I can be swayed in this one, I think.
Dude, here's the thing. The Xenomorph, as I've gotten older, has really grown on me. And I'm looking forward to the new movie. We're going to be going to watch that really soon when that comes out, and I'm looking forward to the new movie. I think it's a badass creature. It's iconic looking. Dude, nothing beats the Predator for me. I mean, it's more humanoid. It's trained. It's like, it seems like it's got more of a mind than just a creature trying to just reproduce. It's straight up an assassinating machine, man. Like, not a machine, you know what I mean? Like, and visually, I think it looks a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Just the face, it's just one ugly motherfucker.
If you watch, I believe it's the behind the scenes, like the making of Predator. Stan Winston, who worked with James Cameron a lot. And I think some of his guys actually worked on the Queen for Aliens, but he was on a flight with James Cameron, and he was trying to design the Predator and couldn't figure out exactly what he wanted to do. And Cameron says, "I've always wanted to see something with mandibles." And he's like, "Oh yeah, huh?" And the next thing you know, we've got the Predator. So Cameron might have a little bit of a hand in that, if you believe a Winston story.
There's no damn telling about that. There's no damn telling. So yeah, I'm gonna go Predator.
Yeah,
it's like don't get me wrong. I think Xenomorph's a tough thing. I mean, it's scary. I wouldn't want to be trapped in anything with it. There's nothing I can do about it, no matter where I'm at. And they're fast moving, and I think with technology too, you can really do more with the creature.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. There's just something about the Predator I've always found so much cooler.
And this is the Alien had been seen before in the first movie, where nobody's seen quite anything like the Predator. So that's the point.
Right. That's a really good point you made too, because even though there's multiple aliens in this other one, you've got one Predator taking down a whole team of badass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I like that.
One thing Aliens does have, actually two things Aliens does have. It's not just aliens, it's the alien queen in this movie. And the puppeteering genius behind it. And just how awesome that was. I believe there's 2 guys in that suit. And that was insane.
That is insane.
But you also have Paul Reiser as a villain in this thing.
That is true.
To quote Ripley, you don't see these guys effing each other over for a percentage.
That's true.
He's really the villain.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And there's always somebody like that in these movies, isn't it?
Yeah. So we might need that tiebreaker. I've about talked myself into it.
Talked yourself into Aliens.
As awesome as the Predator is, you've got a double-headed villain in Aliens, and they're both awesome.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Oof.
Let us know in the comments which way you would go in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Well, I guess it just depends on how bad you want, which one you want to win. I mean,
let's talk it out. Let's be fair about it. Let's talk it out.
Because if I go characters, I'm going to go Predator. I just like the characters better. As great as the acting and as great as the characters are in Aliens, my love for Schwarzenegger and the banter between Carl Weathers and fucking Governor Jesse Ventura. Oh my God, just some of the crap that they say. You've got a bunch of beefy, this sounds really, really homoerotic, doesn't it?
Masculine.
Really masculine.
Vascular.
Vascular. You got a lot of vascular, sweaty,
it's somehow
muscled up dudes in this.
And somehow Aliens is the one with all the sexual overtones, with
I know
the vagina doorways they walk through and stuff.
Yeah, I guess it really just kind of take your pick, man. What's your preference? I lean towards the characters in Predator. If we tie break that, I don't know where you're going to lean. So like the thing is, one of us is going to have to get, because you can't end on a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So
let's just talk it out. So yeah, I love all those characters. They're amazing. On the other side, you've got Hudson and Vasquez. And you ever been mistaken for a man? No, have you? Just good stuff. Somebody wake up Hicks. I love Apone, the sergeant. I believe he might have been a real sergeant in the military. Yeah. Of course, Ripley, Burke. You've got Lance Henriksen, Bishop in that thing. They're written well. They're not as much of a caricature as the guys in Predator.
Right.
It just depends on which way you want to go there. But I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I'm going to go Predator. For
the characters?
Final category for characters. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because in my top 10, Aliens is like my second favorite movie of all time. And Predator's in that top 10, but it's a little farther down.
Right.
But this is Versus, and this is how this goes.
Bill Paxton. Game over, man.
Yeah, game over.
Yeah, man, I have to go Predator on the characters, and I go Predator on so Predator, so we tie villains with Predator and you win Aliens, and which I was almost willing to go Aliens on that too, but yeah, but if you go characters for that tiebreaker category, I think we give it to Predator.
Yeah, just by a smidge.
I think we get just by a smidge. This is really tough. This is a tough one, man. Aliens is a really good movie. It's my favorite one in the franchise. As much of a horror fan as I am, I would still lean towards it's it's the same way as Terminator 2. I would lean Terminator 2 over Terminator 1, but Predator, you could say what you want about the rest of the franchise, but that first Predator is solid.
Yeah.
And the second one's fun, but and Aliens is kind of the same way. You get past the first two and you're just like, eh. In those newer ones like Prometheus and Revenant or whatever, and we'll see what Romulus is going to be like. They're okay. They get a little bit better gradually, but they're just not there. They're nothing like the first two. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, like we said earlier, let us know in the comments below what you think would win. Been tough. It's tough.
Yeah, overall, I think Aliens is better, but yeah,
Aliens is an all around better movie. Definitely better looking movie as well.
Yeah,
but
not upset about it. Love Predator.
Yeah, this was for sure. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. We've got a lot of cool Warehouse Bees coming up. We've got some more cool verses coming up. Why we love. What are we doing next on that? Do we know? Even know yet?
I don't know because we got so many reviews coming out. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. So depending on when this is released, probably after, honestly, because we got to get our Twisters review up. We're gonna do our Twisters review because we just watched it. Speaking of summer blockbusters, we're gonna be giving you a review on that. So keep an eye out for that. If in case this is probably gonna be after that. So if you didn't see that, go back and check that out on our channel too. But until then, you have anything else you need to say?
I believe the next verses that we got coming up. Well, I put a poll out on the board. 2 days in, I think we got like 40 votes, and Billy Madison versus Happy Gilmore is running away with it.
Yeah, and we try to stay away from comedy a little bit because we don't want to sometimes it's hard to break down comedies and story and acting, and
we're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, so we're worried about just laughing and quoting the movie the entire time, which anybody could do that.
We got to come up with stupid, serious categories.
I think we just change it up and find something goofy and category wise. Yeah. So we might try and do that because I'm okay with it because that gives me a reason to watch those movies again. I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah,
and I love those movies. So that's kind of what we'll plan on. I think that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore versus Billy Madison. And I keep seeing rumblings of Happy Gilmore 2 happening. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.
We're out of here.